Hey everybody, this is Dust for the Stone Gaming with some more Modern Burn here. This is a viewers donation list, not donation list, viewers submission list, final free one that we're doing here on the channel. We're going to a donation deck format. Basically, a couple different formats available. You have your usual $8 for a friendly league, $12 for a competitive league, and primarily what we're going to be working on is a $5 thing. With that, you'll get three two-man queue matches. If your deck wins, for each win, you'll get an additional match. So if you go 1 and 2, you'd get one additional match. If you lose, then we'd finish up. So ideally, most people are going to get 4 to 6 matches. 6 will be the cap. This is Ryan Veith's list, Gruul burn list featuring uktabi Drake. I'm going to mispronounce that, so I apologize in advance. But as a friendly reminder, if you like what you're seeing on the channel, please consider subscribing, giving us a thumbs up, and leaving a constructive comment down below. Now, as far as the donation stuff works, if you go to the channel here on the primary thing up here, there's a donation deck link that takes you to PayPal, which allows you to donate, and then I'll see on my PayPal who donated. And then after that, you send or you contact me in the comments or something if I'd be interested in playing a certain deck. If I give you the go-ahead, you send money via that. And you send me the list either in a comment section or through my email, mtgotavern@gmail.com. Anywho, so all that to be said, I'm going to show the format in this video. I've also done something similar with another viewer's deck list. Ben's... Oh, what the heck is... Sure I have the right thing. Ben Adler's list, Mono Red Birds, we played the other day. Anyways, deck tech, what we're getting into, basically a Gruul burn deck. A lot of the cards are very similar to the Boros list, etc., except we're playing Atarka Drake. So if you're leveraging Atarka's command, you want as many creatures in play as possible. Swiss Spirit, Goblin Guide, Eidolon, the best they see play in all the burn lists. The creatures beyond that, other than Grimblavomancer, are kind of subpar. You have things like Vexing Devil, Bomat Courier, Wild Nacatl. Wild Nacatl used to be actually a banned card in Modern, but it's just too slow in the format. Like a 3/3, well, potentially a 3/3 that you have to deal yourself like 4 damage to play and cast, or 6 damage to get all the lands into play, against lands of Fatal Pushes and Lightning Bolts and Path to Exiles. Just doesn't connect for damage enough often. So you really want your creatures to have haste or some type of ability attached to them that impacts the board, or Grimblavomancer, if it survives, you know, it kind of takes over the game against the smaller creature decks. So this creature has evasion, has haste. You're getting there for basically a shock. If you go that and Atarka's command, you're getting in for 3 damage. So I think it's worth looking at. Like all the other creatures, Bomat Courier is a 1/1 with haste, but you know, it gets outclassed very quickly. You know, so it's definitely worth taking a look at this as kind of your third 1-drop with Atarka's command in the deck. You can't play the Echo cost, but realistically, having 2 green sources and 3 mana after the turn after you're playing this isn't very likely, so you are very likely to just be a one-shot with this. And it has evasion, which I think is the big key. We'll see how that plays out in the matches. Beyond that, you got some bolts, some spikes, some Searing Blazes for creatures, Rift Bolt, Skewer the Critics. Basically, you're a low to the ground burn deck. Bunch of 1-drop spells. Try to get your opponent dead as quickly as possible, and you try to leverage Atarka's command as well as possible. Sideboard is something I kind of threw together based off experience with various other burn decks. Tormod's Crypt and Grafdigger's Cages are just your obligatory 3 slots against you know, Dredge and such. Cindervines and Destructive Revelry, I have a split on these cards. Revelry is a little more efficient. Cindervines gives you a little bit more utility with the ability to ping your opponent for all the spells they're playing. Rending Volley, kind of a pseudo like Path to Exile or whatever, comes in against the Is It Phoenix decks, as well as a lot of the various tribal decks. Grimblavomancer, good against the small creature decks. Searing Blood, much the same thing. And then Exquisite Firecraft is kind of your tech against control decks and such. So let's head into a 2-man queue. It is 3 o'clock in the morning here, so not sure how quickly these ones are going to fire. But Been an interesting day so far. Played in the Modern Challenge this morning. Didn't go particularly well. Played Dredge. Yeah, Sand's okay-ish. Sure, opponent good luck. That upkeep stop going on here. But I heard you guys loud and clear. Most of you not a fan of the Dredge deck, so probably not a deck we'll be playing terribly much on stuff anymore. Okay, Tron, sure. Relic, don't really care about Relic. That does make our Searing Blades kind of dead, though. So I'm not sure at this point if they're Eldrazi Tron or just regular Tron. If they're regular Tron, playing the Eidolon out more here makes more sense. If they're Eldrazi Tron, we wouldn't do get our 1-drop out of the hand. Looks like they just might have natural Tron anyway. Feeling we're about to get chaliced. But yeah, this kind of indicates to me that we're up against Eldrazi Tron. So guess we'll find out in a bit. Eldrazi Tron is a terrible matchup. Regular Tron's a pretty good matchup for most burn decks, so sure. Maybe it's just a Tron deck with some weird main deck conclusions. I guess Warping Whale would be good against Thing in the Ice, but I don't really think that Thing in the Ice is a card this deck's too terribly worried about. Or that Tron would be too terribly worried about. This would be one of those weird situations where however you pronounce this, the Drake, Green Drake, is probably going to get their Echo cost paid. Alright, so we're going to get hit with a Eugene. Faster opponent. If they play a Worm Coil or anything here, they're just dead. But yep, like Karn could be annoying. See what you find here. Alright, so we have one more draw step to find something. Has to be a burn spell at this point, can't be a creature. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to cast Ulamog this turn. Wow, seriously? Alright, so our opponent's playing a really weird version of Tron. So they have Thragtusk in the main, they have Warping Whale in the main. To be fair, I think we still should have won that game. So, Searing Blaze is out. Probably bring in... Do I even want to bring in here? Don't even know that they have that many artifacts and such. Guess we leave a couple blazes in, just because the rest of the deck feels kind of eh against them. This hand's fine, but we do need to find another land here. Come on, let's draw a land here. Could get punished for this if they already have like a fairly good hand. Haven't showed me any indication they have Warping Whale here, so they just have Natural Tron. They don't, fortunately. Spike you. Should just concede here if they don't have some way to deal with a creature. Because you really don't need to be showing me extra information. Ghost Quarter out of their list is interesting. I have no idea what this could be. Wow, they really hate losing to burn, don't they? Alright, so... Cindervines feels too slow. None of these other cards truly make sense, so let's just get rolling. See what happens happens here. Oh, it's going to be reading this card going, what the heck? This is where the effectiveness of the card's kind of debatable. So I could get in for 5 here. I think I'm just supposed to play Eidolon. You know, if life goes on or something stupid. Oh, just cracking map, sure. Obviously, if they have Thragtusk, we pretty much auto-lose here. Yeah, that's Thragtusk mana. Oh, we're good. Just pass turn. Sure. So deck that's shown us main deck Warping Will, main deck Thragtusk. Yeah. We get pulsed in response to this, I just give up. 9. Wow. Just wow. Fortunately, there's no wonder on our deck that gets us out of this, so... Alright, so... lost a match to a Tron player that really hates burn. J-make. My only question is like, warping your deck that much to beat burn, it's like, is it even worth it? Like, main deck Thragtusk, main deck warping, well... whole bunch of other, like, random nonsense. Burn is not necessarily the deck you need to beat, and I don't know... I guess Warping Whale helps you beat, Is It Phoenix, but I don't really think Is It Phoenix is that big of a deal for their deck. And... main deck Thragtusk. You're not casting it until turn 4. I mean, I guess it's fine even in some of the fair matchups, but... just feels kind of... like, almost too much anyway. Hopefully our buddy doesn't pop in again. But it's one of the issues with two-man queues is not only can it take a little while, but sometimes you run into the same decks over and over again. So Tron doesn't feel great. Is there anything... now, granted... alright, so we got a different opponent this time. That's good. This hand feels fine. Obviously, if we draw another land... get to assess the Drake. Concealed Courtyard. So, some style of Eldrazi deck. Opponent's like, wait, what does that card do? Ghost Quarter. That one could be annoying. At least we have a mountain to go get, but we do have a bunch of green spells in our hand. Wow. Alright, I mean... got shocks to go around, I guess. Eldrazian taxes. Still with 7 cards in hand. Still not playing Ghost Quarter. Interesting. Do you have a path to exile? Guess you get to blink the Drake. To stay alive here, which is mildly annoying. Or I guess you could Flicker Wisp something. I don't know. Or do this shenanigans. Take the Eidolon, that's kind of pointless here for us anyway. Blue Splash is interesting. At this point, because of this BS, we need to draw basically an instance. The only way we're going to be able to win this game. It's a land, so it really doesn't matter. So let's even our outs at this point. So we're drawing like a 6 or 7 outer. Seems kind of sketch. is technically a 6-outer right now. Still not sure what the blue mana is for. Alright. On to the sideboard games. So, Searing Blood, Grim Lavamancer, Running Volley at least has some targets. Get these Eidolons out of our deck against the Aether Vial deck. A couple of these Drakes, because they're not the best in this matchup. To be fair, I don't know that I really like any of the other 1-drop creatures outside of like Grim Lavamancer, so not really an indictment necessarily on Drake, just the power level between Monster, Swiftspear, Goblin Guide, and every other creature is kind of pathetic, to put it nicely. So we're on the play, so we want to establish aggression first. If we were on the draw, I'd probably go with Grim Lavamancer. Probably a good chance they're just going to lead on Aether Vial this turn anyway. Here, Skewer the Critics plays a little bit awkwardly with Monster Swiftspear. Running Volley is not the best card particularly, but does give us some play against certain of their stuff. That was actually a pretty reasonable draw here. Obviously, your opponent... What on earth is going on over there? Definitely missed some points of damage there. I could have gone Bolt and Skewer there. I think I'm more interested in controlling their board potentially, though. What on earth could they violin? Still doesn't change anything here. Though we are going to lose, well, sort of, kind of lose half our hand here. So they get to take one card permanently. One card will just be exiting temporarily. this Tide Hollow Sculler, get back our spell. Opponent reveals Seachrome Coast. Alright. We guess another Tide Hollow Sculler. Probably have to take Rending Volley here. Rending Volley back. Seriously? Alright, well, at least we found out why they're playing the Blue Splash. No good attacks here. Now they've pretty much just established a lock we can't beat. So, alright, gonna play one more match with Ryan's list here. Don't want to play against good old Lollygagger after that beating. So, I don't know what to think so far. Not really been a fan of the Drake in a 4 of number. Lollygagger continues to be in the queue. I don't know. Like, the matchups we played against, obviously, were very goofy. Like, a Tron felt like we should have beaten Tron, except they had some weird main deck cards, or at least had an opportunity to beat them, except they had Warping Whale and such in the main deck. Eldrazi and Taxes can be a difficult matchup, even for Boros, depending on their draws. I don't know. Someone just hurry up and play Lollygagger. Hopefully somebody's playing him and we don't have to play him one more time. But, trying to think so far. I just don't know what to make of the Drake so far. Like, it hasn't felt great, but really any of the creatures in that slot don't feel great. Vexing Devil hasn't felt good. The Bomat Courier didn't feel good. Nakatl is probably the best of the rest, and that doesn't feel good anymore. I still want to find a way to make Atarka's command work. Just can't help but feel like the best way for Atarka's command to work is just like a Gobos build. Like, just run like a traditional Gobos deck with Atarka's command in the main, or even in the sideboard. I think would be the best Atarka's deck in the modern format. Just doesn't feel like going out of your way to get Atarka's command into a deck is really worth it anymore. Except the deck can go really, really wide. So, like, Affinity and Gobos are like the two best decks that could potentially leverage Atarka's command. Or Kadotha Rebirth Affinity. Neither of which are like really top tier builds right now. Like, Gobos is fine, but Drakes really haven't been that great. They've basically been 1 green for a shock. And like, if I'm going to play 1 green for a shock, why wouldn't I just play Mutagenic Growth? Alright, so our Eidolon is basically completely useless here, because it looks like we're up against spirits. Pretty much confirms it. It's either spirits or some form of Merfolk. Keep an yield 1 lander, huh? Take a second while I read the card. Yep, definitely spirits. opponent's turn. They had nothing to violin on 1. We know they're drawing Drogskull Captain. Use Phantasmal Image here to kill. Kill the Supreme Phantom. And to grab just a basic land there. So now our opponent's basically limited to whatever they can violin. What you got? Oh, finally land. This is going to end really poorly for you, friend. Alright, creatures get +1/+1. Been a while since you've had to play around Atarka's command, isn't it? Okay, Phantasmal Image. I see what you're doing there. Guess we may as well play our flying blocker. So we can't target any of their stuff. Means if they have a spell queller, we're in some trouble here. Actually, we just gotta let this go, because if we don't draw a burn spell, we're dead anyway. And then we draw the one we can't cast, because our opponent's crap all has hexproof. Alright, so... bring in the Rending Volleys, bring in the Lavamancers, bring in the Searing Bloods. Because I want more stuff that's relevant here. Yeah, sounds fun. Pour on the damage, because why not? Basically, I have 3 anti-creature things in my hand. Really need to draw like a fetch land or something, though. It's like the perfect draw here. Since they played that particular spell, So, got a game against spirits at least. Still don't think I want any of these cards. Drake is better on the play than the draw anyway. These cards only tag Ether Vial, and Eidolon's just abysmal against the various Ether Vial decks. Sounds fun. Them not having Vial on one is very good for us. Sure. Actually, as much as I want to kill that during their main phase, I also don't want them to... it's whatever. Sure, let Monthly Monitor resolve. It's an annoying amount of mana. Just gotta continue to clear out their board. Rattle chains. Seems like they have everything. Yeah, Lavamancer is just really devastating in this matchup. So we get to go. Go and do this. Clear that out of the way. Excuse me. Deputy of Detention. Sure. Get good old Grimmy back. This plus Phantasmal, which is going to be extremely annoying. Oh, just Supreme Phantom, sure. To clear out all their creatures here, I think. Deal them a bunch of damage. Because this would put it to 8 damage, and then if they don't block, they're just dead. Selfless Spirit. Alright, so normally if this were the actual donation list there, I'd be playing at least one more match. Thoughts on the list? I could see Drake as like a 2 of, and like move a Lavamancer to the main, or even move 2 Lavamancers to the main. I just don't think this is a 4 of card. Like, I think 2 of could be fine, especially when in the mid to later game with atarka's Command and such, to be able to get through some board stall states. I just don't think Shock on a Stick is worth a 4 of in the deck. atarka's Command, it's fine when you can get a lot of creatures on the board. I just think Command is better. Like, what card? Is it like E2 Lava Runner? Is it Soulscar Mage? just feels like Atarka's Command is such a great card, but it's not like playable in these decks. I don't think Drake is enough of a reason to leverage Atarka's Command. I don't know, Ryan. I can definitely see this deck being fun to play, and we should have probably gone 2-1 outside of our Tron opponent having some bizarre game one cards. So, not saying the list is bad. I'm just saying I don't particularly like this Uktabi Drake Atarka's Command build. To be honest, I really haven't been impressed by any builds outside of like traditional Moros. The rest of the list have just been kind of mediocre. Rakdos doesn't feel like it offers enough, and these Gruul lists haven't been particularly impressive. But I mean, it's certainly fun to play with Atarka's Command, and I can see spots where Drake could be good, but I think those are few and far between. But deck was a blast to play. Thanks for submitting the list, Ryan, and I hope you'll submit more lists in the future. This has been Dusk for Dusted on Gaming. Hope everyone has a great day.